A pleasant day to all of you. This is Levatida H. Singer, and I am here to discuss with you the Module 2 of Curriculum Development, which is the teacher is a knower as a knower of curriculum. And this module will describe the school curriculum in terms of its definition, nature, and scope, and will provide a wider perspective for the teachers about the curriculum in terms of curriculum approach, curriculum development process, some curriculum models, and the foundations upon which curriculum is anchored. Lesson 1, which is about definition, nature, and scope of the school curriculum. After this lesson, the desired learning outcomes is you will able to define what is curriculum from its different perspective and describe its nature and scope based on the point of view of some authors. But I have to discuss with you only the definition, nature, scope, and its different approaches. But before that, curriculum is the word originates from the Latin word currere, referring to the oval track upon which Roman chariots raced. The International Dictionary defines curriculum as the whole body of a course in an educational institution or by a department. The Oxford English Dictionary defines curriculum as courses taught in schools or universities. And here are the some definitions of curriculum accordingly to Daniel Tanner, 1980. Curriculum is a planned and guided set of learning experiences and intended outcomes that formulated through the systematic reconstruction of knowledge and experience under the auspices of the school, and a continuous and willful growth in personal social competence for learners. And for Pratt 1980, curriculum is a written document that systematically describes goals, plans, objectives, content, learning activities, evaluation procedures, and so forth. And for Schubert 1987, the curriculum is the contents of a subject, which is included the concepts and tasks to be acquired, plans, activities, the desired learning outcomes and experiences, product of culture, and an agenda to reform society make up a curriculum. For Haas in 1987, a curriculum includes all of the experiences that learners have in a program of education whose purpose is to achieve broad goals and related specific objectives. Which is planned in terms of a framework of theory and research or past and present professional practice. For Grandi on 1987, defined curriculum as a program of activities by teachers and pupils designed so that pupils will attain, so far as possible, certain educational and other schooling ends or objectives. For Goodland and Sue in 1992, they defined curriculum as a plan that consists of learning opportunities for a specific time frame and place, which is a tool that aims to bring about behavior changes in students as a result of planned activities and or learning experiences received by the students with the guidance of the school. And lastly is for Cronbeth on 1992, describe curriculum as answer to the following three questions, such as what knowledge, skills, and values are most worthwhile. Next is why are they most worthwhile and how should the young acquire them? These are the sum of definitions that indicate the dynamism which connote diverse interpretations as influenced by moods of thoughts, pedagogies, philosophies, political as well as cultural perspective. There are also some points of view of other curricularists that the concept and meaning of curriculum are shaped by the person's points of view and sometimes characterized as fragmentary, elusive, and confusing, and as dynamic and perhaps ever-changing. There is another point of view about the curriculum that can either be traditional or progressive, and these views can also define what a curriculum is all about, accordingly to their philosophical, psychological, and even psychological orientations. These are the traditional points of view of curriculum from the following theories. First, according to Robert M. Hutchins, curriculum as permanent studies. He views curriculum as permanent studies, where rules of grammar, reading, rhetoric, logic, and mathematics for basic education are emphasized. Also, the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic, should be emphasized in basic education, while liberal education should be emphasized in college. And for Arthur B. Storr, curriculum as an essentialist, he believes that the mission of the school should be intellectual training, where curriculum should focus on the fundamental intellectual disciplines of grammar, literature, and writing, including mathematics, science, and history, and foreign language. For Joseph Schwab, discipline is the sole sources of curriculum, where the subject areas such as science, math, social studies, English, and many more, while in college it's academic discipline, which are labeled as humanities, science, languages, mathematics, among others. And he coins the word discipline as a ruling doctrine for curriculum development. And lastly, for Philip Phoenix asserts that curriculum should consist entirely of knowledge which comes from the various disciplines. To sum up their traditional points of view about curriculum, curriculum can be defined as a field study, and it is highly academic, and it is concerned with broad historical, philosophical, psychological, and social issues. And it is mostly written documents, such syllabus, courses of study, books, and references where knowledge is found but is used as a means to accomplish intended goals. Next will be the progressive points of view for the curriculum. In broadest term, progressive view of curriculum is the total learning experiences of the individual. Let us look into how curriculum is defined from a progressive point of view. For John, believes that education is experiencing. Reflective thinking is a means that unifies curricular elements that is tested by application. For Hollin, Caswell, and Keane Campbell, they viewed curriculum as all experiences children have under the guidance of teachers. And for Othniel Smith, William Stanley, and Harriet Shore, they also viewed curriculum as a sequences of potential experiences set up in schools for the purpose of disciplining children and youth in group ways of thinking and acting. Lastly, for Colin Marsh and George Willis, they also view curriculum as all the experiences in the classroom, which are planned and enacted by the teacher and also learned by the students. The nature of curriculum means different things to a different people, because according to the interpretation, it depends on a person's philosophical beliefs. To sum up, curriculum is the total learning experiences of the learner under the guidance of the teacher. The nature of curriculum means different things to a different people, because according to the interpretation, it depends on a person's philosophical beliefs. To sum up, curriculum is the total learning experiences of the learner under the guidance of the teacher. In this lesson, let us look at the three ways approaching curriculum as either a content, a process, a product to fully understand the different perspective of what curriculum is all about. There are three ways of approaching a curriculum. First approach is curriculum as a content or a body of knowledge. And there are four ways of presenting the content in the curriculum. Number one, topical approach, where much content is based on knowledge and experiences. Number two, concept approach, with fewer topics in clusters around major and sub-concepts and their interaction with relatedness emphasized. Number three is thematic approach, as a combination of concepts that develops conceptual structures. Number four, modular approach, that leads to complete units of instruction. There are some suggested criteria in the selection of content. Number one, significance. It is significant if content becomes the means of developing cognitive, affective, or psychomotor skills of the learner. Number two, validity. There is a need of validity check and verification at a regular interval, because content which may be valid in its original form may not be continued to be valid in the current times. Number three, utility. Usefulness of the content can be relative to time. It may have been useful in the past but may not be useful now or in future. Number four, learnability. Based on the psychological principles of learning, complexity of the content should be within the range of experiences of the learning. Number 5, feasibility, asking if the subject can be learned within a given time, availability of resources, expertise of the teachers, and the nature of the learners. And if there is a content of learning which can be learned beyond the formal teaching learning engagement. And lastly, are there opportunities provided to learn this? Number 6, interest. Interest is one of the driving force for students to learn better. Second approaches is curriculum approached as a process. We have seen that the curriculum can be approached as a content. Therefore, we can also approach curriculum as a process. Curriculum is the interaction of teacher, learners, and content. So as a process, curriculum links from the content, while content provides materials on what to teach. Process provides curriculum on how to teach the content. When accomplished, the process will result to various curriculum experiences for the learners. However, the intersection of the content and process is called pedagogical content knowledge, or PCK. When curriculum is approached as a process, guiding principles are present. First, curriculum process in the form of teaching methods or strategies are meant to achieve the end. Second, its effectiveness will depend on the desired learning outcomes, the learner's support materials, and the teacher. Third, curriculum process should stimulate the learners a desire to develop the cognitive, affective, psychomotor domains in each individual. Number 4, in the choice of methods, learning and teaching styles should be considered. Number 5, every process or method should result to learning outcomes, which can be described as cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Number 6, flexibility in the use of the process or methods should be considered, as an effective process will always result to learning outcomes. Number 7, both teaching and learning are the two important processes in the implementation of the curriculum. Lastly, curriculum approached as a product. Product is operationalized as knowledge, skills, and values. In addition to function effectively and efficiently, in addition, curriculum as a product is expressed in form of outcomes, which are referred to as the achieved learning outcomes. There may be several desired learning outcomes, but if the process is not successful, then no learning outcomes will be achieved. Here are the following guide in the selection of the content. First, content is commonly used in the daily life. Content is appropriate to the maturity levels and abilities of the learners. Third is content is valuable in meeting the needs and competences of the future career. Fourth, content is related to other subject fields or discipline for complementation and integration. Fifth is content is important in the transfer of learning in other disciplines. In 1952, Palma proposed the principle of BASIC as a guide in addressing content in the curriculum, where BASIC refers to balance, articulation, sequence, integration, and continuity in organizing content or putting together subject matter. First is balance. Balanced content should be equally or fairly distributed in depth or breadth. Second, well articulation. As the content complexity progresses with the educational levels, vertically or horizontally across the same discipline. Smooth connections or bridging should be provided. Third sequence. The logical arrangement of the content refers to the sequences or order, and this can be done by vertically for deepening the content or horizontally for broadening the same content. Number 4 is integration. Integration contents which can be integrated to other disciplines acquire a higher premium than when isolated. Continuity. Fifth is continuity. Contents when viewed as a curriculum, it should be continuously flow as it was before, to where it is now and where it will be in the future.